What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cherokee Hacks Life. Today we're going to talk about shoulder injuries. And I think I actually tweaked my shoulder back on Thursday. If you guys remember back from my video last week, I said that I was probably going to try to work out 4 times a week. Negative. That didn't happen. Last week when I was doing bench press, and I think it was because I was doing a new technique. I was doing the Chef Buff technique on the bench press, where you kind of lift up your butt, kind of put down, put a little bit more arch in your back, and kind of try to concentrate your chest a little bit more. I think I tweaked it a little bit. Luckily, it doesn't feel like it's too bad. Today's Sunday, and my shoulder honestly doesn't feel too bad. I hate taking painkillers or pain pills or anything like that, so I didn't take any Advil like the first day or Aleve or anything like that. I wanted to take an Aleve the second day. I guess it was just a little bit of inflammation. I was kind of worried because I had torn my labrum prior, and this goes way back to when I was in like high school, early high school, junior high, and stuff like that. Where when I was a kid, I would pitch I would pitch curveballs a lot, and basically my coaches wouldn't stop me. They were too stupid not to stop me, and I was a pretty decent pitcher, and they just kind of just let me keep going. And on one, I can just kind of feel like a shooting pain, and it just hurt like hell. And stopped playing probably for like 3 weeks during that time frame. I could never pitch the same. It just never felt right. So I really stopped pitching, started playing shortstop. Basically kind of, I wouldn't say ended my baseball career, because trust me, I wasn't going to be like no Derek Jeter or anything like that. But kind of just went off on another route eventually and started playing varsity basketball. And there's less shoulder problems, I guess, with varsity basketball. But anyway, fast forward a couple more years, about 15 more years. 2 years ago, I actually wound up completely tearing my labrum. If before it was just like a tweak or whatever, or maybe it was kind of healing up and the scar tissue was holding it together. I was lifting weights and I was doing a bench press again, and probably again I was using the wrong technique. I was probably arching too far back and probably had it too high up on my shoulders. I lifted up and I can feel a straight shooting pain. It wasn't the same thing that I felt here, because I didn't feel anything the day that I was working out. It was actually more soreness the day after. But with this one, it was just a shooting pain, and like a dumbass, I kind of just kept going. I was like, all right, let me try to power through it. Fucking hurt, man. Don't do that. Whatever you guys do, once you feel pain, if you start feeling pain, you fuck something up. Stop working out. That's what I wound up doing. Since I worked out on Thursday, I stopped working out, and I haven't worked out since Thursday. And I might work out tomorrow, but I try to do something that doesn't involve my shoulder. But basically, I tore my labrum at that moment, and I didn't know that. I went to the orthopedic surgeon, great orthopedic surgeon here in Orlando. He's actually the orthopedic surgeon for the Orlando Magic, and he's really straightforward, really blunt. Conversations with him are like, so basically my first conversation was, so you tore your labrum, cool. Looking at your, no, actually, first conversation was more like, so Cherokee, nice name. Next, looking at this x-ray here, I'm sending you in for an MRI. Looks like you tore your labrum, but I just want to double check. I would go ahead and schedule in a surgery real quick with my nurse. I'll send her in here. If you got any questions, no? Cool, let me go. Wait, whoa, dude, hang on, I got questions. It was real straightforward like that, man, but I liked him because honestly he's the best freaking orthopedic surgeon here in Central Florida. He did great work on my shoulder. I haven't felt any pain at all in my shoulder, and I still lifted. The shitty part was that I was literally down for probably about a good almost a year after having the surgery. So trust me, if you're a bodybuilder or if you're lifting weights and you fuck up your shoulder, it's bad, man. You're down for like a year. And then basically the labrum, if you think about it, labrum is basically just a piece of ligament, right? And if you think of your shoulder itself as like a beach ball and the actual shoulder socket as like a dinner plate, your shoulder rotates on that dinner plate, right? Your labrum basically has 2 functions. The first is to deepen the socket so that way the ball stays in place, so that way you have that movement that you have in your shoulder. The second is basically it's a tissue that's attached to the rim of the socket that forms kind of like a bumper between the plate itself and the actual beach ball called your shoulder and shoulder socket. So when you tear that, it's bad, man. So my pain that I felt in my shoulder wasn't that pain, luckily, thank God. I wound up taking some Advil on Friday because I was like, fuck, this thing hurts, maybe it's just inflammation. And it definitely feels like it's inflammation. My shoulder feels pretty good today. But I can't stress the importance enough of you guys stretch as often as possible. Make sure you stretch to the side. I do a lot of these stretches. Make sure you stretch straight up and down as much as possible. Make sure you bring your shoulder over on each side. Same thing on the right and on the left. You know, all the basic, you know, movements that you should do. I tend to work out really early in the morning, so my muscles are basically fresh because I'm just up at 5:15, 5:30. I'm in the gym before 6 o'clock. I'm working out for an hour to an hour and a half. So my muscles are just fresh. So I make sure I take a good 10-15 minutes and just stretch it out. Make sure I bring my arms back. If I'm going to another gym and I'm driving, I'm actually stretching while I'm in the car, trying to stretch my shoulders out if I'm doing any shoulder workouts and stuff. So the importance of stretching, I cannot emphasize enough. Trust me, you don't want a labrum surgery because you get 3 different holes. It's orthopedic, so it's not like you know, you get huge scars or anything. These scars are tiny. You probably can't even see them in the video, but it's one here, one in the back, and one is with a scope. The other 2 are with the I guess, what is it? One of them is with the sutures, and the other one's with the little clips or whatever. I have like images somewhere around here of what it looked like. It looked ugly as shit before. It looked great afterwards. So my doctor actually did really good work, and again, if you guys ever need work done and you're somewhere in Florida, I would definitely recommend him. That's basically it, guys. Just make sure when you're doing shoulder workouts and you're doing your chest press, don't bring your bench press too high. It'll fuck up your shoulders. Don't lift too fucking heavy. Maybe I went too heavy. Maybe I shouldn't have done 225 yet. Maybe I should have just incremented up. But it felt good doing it. It's just afterwards it was just sore. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully, you know, I educated you guys enough on the labrum and emphasized enough. Make sure you stretch. This labrum surgery will take you down for a year. No joke. The physical therapy afterwards is a bitch. That was like 3 months of physical therapy. That's fucking expensive. Let me emphasize how expensive that shit is. But more importantly, you really can't do anything. I mean, my arm didn't move at all. I couldn't move it at all for like a week. It just basically stayed in a sling. Then after you kind of in a sling for like a month, and then they're slowly stretching it out, and it hurt like a motherfucker. Hurt like hell, man. So stretch your shoulders out, guys. Make sure you stretch. Make sure you put all your joints in movement and stuff before you start working out. And hopefully that was informative to you guys. As always, whatever your goal is, whatever you're pushing forward to, make it happen. Don't injure yourself doing it. Just make it happen.